Hey guys, today we are going to be making a roasted root vegetable salad. This is actually the salad that we're going to be serving on Thanksgiving this year. It's going to be our first full paleo Thanksgiving, so we're definitely excited. So to go over some ingredients, just like it sounds, roasted root vegetables. So we have a few of them. We have a butternut squash. We're not using this whole thing, but it's the smallest one I could find in the store. Some carrots. Parsnips, a sweet potato, and then I also like to add in just about half an onion that we're going to dice up. For the base of the salad, we do a mixture of both spinach and of arugula. Some walnuts, we're going to toast these a little bit. They give a little bit of extra flavor. And then some salt and pepper. Those are kind of standard. For our dressing, sorry, there's a lot of ingredients. For our dressing, we're going to be using some extra virgin olive oil and some apple cider vinegar, along with some salt and pepper. Now, if you want, you can add honey to this, but obviously that's not completely paleo, or it's not Whole30, I guess. But feel free to add in a little bit of honey as well if you want. So let's get started. So you want to take all of your root vegetables, wash them, peel them, and then chop them up. So the biggest thing you want to make sure is that they are even size approximately. You don't want some to be way larger than the others, because then they're not going to roast evenly. So these are about between a 1/2 inch to 1 inch chop. For the red onion though, kind of just roughly chop it into large chunks. The onion, as it roasts, it's not going to stay in large pieces like this. You can see they kind of just peel apart. So just kind of a rough chop on those. So put it onto a big sheet tray like this. You want it to be a large one so that they're not too overcrowded in the pan, but also you don't want them so that they're crazy spread out, because you're going to end up using more oil than you really need. So you want to take some olive oil and just drizzle it over the vegetables. Not too heavy, but also not too light. And then you want to sprinkle just a little bit of salt. This is kosher salt, my favorite. And then also some fresh cracked black pepper, just kind of all over it. Then, using your hands, best utensils in the kitchen, just kind of mix everything together. And lost a carrot. And what this is going to do is just kind of evenly distribute that oil that you just drizzled over, and also kind of evenly distribute the salt and the pepper. And you also want to just kind of combine the vegetables, because when you put it on the salad, you're going to want to have a little bit of each vegetable. So get that all kind of combined, then evenly just kind of spread it back out so that the pan is full. So now you want to place this in a preheated 400-degree oven. About halfway through cooking, you want to stir the vegetables around, make sure that they're getting even roasting and browning. And while these are in the oven, we're going to make our dressing. So the easiest way to make the dressing I found is to put everything into a mason jar, and then this way you can shake it and store any of the leftover dressing in the fridge so that you can add it to the salad in the future. So we have olive oil. We're going to add 1/3 of a cup to that. So the really cool thing also about mason jars is the fact that they have measurements on the side, so you don't need to dirty a bunch of extra measuring cups or spoons and things like that. Now we're going to add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And then just about a 1/2 teaspoon, actually a little less than that, of some kosher salt, and then some fresh cracked black pepper. Just give it a few quick turns. Then you want to make sure you tightly secure the lid, and then you can shake it. And this is going to evenly kind of put together the olive oil and the vinegar. Now this probably will separate because you don't have any like Dijon mustard or egg yolk or anything like that in here that kind of helps keep everything together. But at this point you can taste it. If you like a lot more vinegar, you can always add more vinegar to this. This is just a couple tablespoons in here with the olive oil. But if you also want a little bit more pepper or anything like that, you can taste it at this point. But until we are ready to assemble our salad, we're gonna throw this in the fridge. So our roasted root vegetables are almost done, so we can toast up the walnuts. Now I just have a skillet over low heat right here. This is about a cup of chopped up walnuts. You can add these directly into the skillet. You don't need any oil or anything like that. There's enough oil in the walnuts. So you just want to keep an eye on these, make sure the heat stays on low. You can kind of just take and move them around in the skillet a little bit every couple minutes, and you will know they're done when you can really smell that wonderful toasty flavor. So just keep an eye on them, don't walk away from them. You definitely don't want to burn these because that's just going to ruin your entire salad. So we'll be back. So for the roasted root vegetables, the first 30 minutes they were in the 400-degree oven. After that, I raised the temperature up to 450 degrees and cooked them for an additional 15 minutes. This gives them a little bit of color on them, roast them a little bit more, but you don't want to roast them the entire time at 450 because you don't want them to burn before they're actually cooked all the way through. So we could take a little bit of the roasted root vegetable mixture and lay it onto, this is half arugula, half spinach. Feel free to also use other greens if you're not an arugula fan. Arugula has a little bit of a peppery taste to it. A lot of people don't care for that sometimes. I love it personally. We served a salad very similar to this at Thanksgiving last year with my family, and they all loved it. But just be a little bit cautious about that. You can always use like a spring mix, all spinach, whatever you prefer. Okay, so now that you have the roasted root vegetables on the top, you can grab just a little bit of the walnuts and kind of sprinkle those over this. And then shake up your dressing. And then you can add about a tablespoon or so of dressing just right over the top. You definitely don't want to add too much dressing. These greens don't need a lot, and you also already have some flavor and a little bit of the olive oil that's left over from the roasted root vegetables. So you can kind of toss this all together and serve it. Now you can serve this as a big main dish serving, where you put it in a large mixing bowl, mix all the dressing in it, mix all the roasted root vegetables and the walnuts together. I usually kind of put everything out separately just because some people either don't like walnuts, some people don't like any dressing, or they like a lot of dressing. And this way you kind of let your guests make the salad exactly the way that they want. Some people don't like onions, so they may try to kind of pick around those as they're grabbing the roasted root vegetables. So feel free to put these in a bowl, put the salad mix or the spinach and arugula into a bowl. Keep the dressing maybe either at the table or right next to it, and then you can pass around a small bowl of these toasted walnuts. So, happy Thanksgiving!